Randy, you want to join us? Randy Madrid, would you like to join us? I'm gonna try and start all my meetings at 6 o'clock. Randy's signed in, so we don't have to wait for that. All right, is everybody ready? Welcome, Ty. Hi. IT is ready. It is 6 o'clock. I'm going to call this meeting to order at 6 o'clock. Can the clerk please call roll?
Commissioner Diedrich.
Here.
Commissioner Long.
Here.
Commissioner Madrid.
Here.
Vice Chair Thomas.
Here.
And Chair Ledoux.
I am here as well.
Thank you.
Next item is the Pledge of Allegiance. I'm going to ask Joe if you'd like to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance today.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise and direct your attention to the flag. Raise your hand and begin.
Great job, Joe. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Presentations, item number 4. There are no presentations tonight. Item number 5 is agendas. Are there any modifications to the agenda?
There are not.
Okay. I'd like to ask the commission for approval of the agenda. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, that passes. Okay. Item number 6, public comments on non-agendized items. Do we have any requests to speak?
I have no requests.
Okay. Anybody here want to speak on anything not on the agenda tonight? Okay. Okay, on to the approval of the minutes. I'd like to ask the Planning Commission for approval of the February 8th, 2023 minutes. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none. Moving on to item number 8, the consent calendar. There is nothing on our consent calendar. Moving on to item number 9, public hearing items. This is item 9.1, Menifee Village, PA 46, tentative track map 37671. Would the planning manager please introduce this item?
Thank you, Chair. I will be presenting the following item. I know, is there an announcement that we need to make prior to the presentation?
Yes, thank you. So on the advice of the City Attorney's Office, I'd like to state for the record that I'm recusing myself from item 9.1 out of the abundance of caution. As such, I will leave the room while the item is discussed and returned for the next item. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Chair. If I can get IT assistance with the presentation, please. Okay. The following item before you tonight, it was originally scheduled for the Planning Commission back in December 14, and we postponed that at the request of the applicant. So we're back tonight. We discuss those items that were pending back then, and we're ready to move forward. So there's a little bit of history on the project. As you can see on the map already shows parcels on our GIS layer, and the reason for that is there's currently a recorded tentative map already on the project. The map was originally approved by the county a few years back, and it was recorded back in 2015 here when the city was after incorporation of the city. So the original approval was for 197 lots within the Menifee Village specific plan. And just to give a little background on Menifee Village specific plan, it was originally adopted back in 1982. There are 4 villages within this specific plan. Obviously, this is part of one of the villages. The original approval, again, 197 total lots with a minimum lot size of 6,000. So you're probably asking why is the project back, right? So if you can see on the exhibit on the left-hand side, you can see Briggs Roads, which is currently not built, connecting to Dominic Magoni. The location that was originally approved, it has very steep slopes, which makes it very challenging to get it built. So the applicant came back to staff and said, you know what, in order to make it a less challenging construction of the street, they shifted the street over to the west, and in the process of doing that, they lost about 15 lots. Essentially, the proposal is essentially the same layout, same overall circulation, same access points. Again, it was just shifted to accommodate the street at a better location. It still has the same minimum lot size. It still has the same park space that was originally approved. Nothing else changed. If it wasn't because the map was already recorded, we probably could have done what's called a substantial conformance, which is more of an administrative process without having to come back with the planning commission. Because the map was recorded, it has to come back and essentially get reapproved. And just for the benefit of the people here and anybody else that may be watching, this outlines the project area. There's an existing residential development on the south side that's going to be abutting the project. It's single-family residential. It's consistent with the same lot size as what's currently proposed. Briefly regarding access points, there's one main access point off of what's the name of the? Yes, the Lindenberger, that's correct, thank you. And it's gonna align on the north side with Lindenberger. It will be a full access point. A secondary access point is off of Briggs. Obviously, that access will become available as part of phase 1. And Briggs, at the completion of the map, will be fully improved to connect with Dominic Magoni as well. As briefly indicated before, the 2.9 acre park, it's still proposed. There's also a couple of trails that lead to the park as well. There's an existing gas easement that bisects the parcel. As part of the proposal, it's to landscape that area and create a paseo that would take residents to the park. In regards to the environmental, the original approved project had a mitigated neck deck. All the previous mitigations would still apply to the project. Furthermore, there's additional sections in CEQA that allow this project to move forward without additional CEQA review. We did receive an email from adjacent property owner in opposition to the project, and their comment was that there's simply not enough resources to accommodate more housing units. So that was her comment on her email. With that, staff recommends that the Planning Commission determine that no additional environmental review is required and adopt a resolution approving PLN 19007, which is for tentative track map 37671, subject to the conditions of approval that are attached to the resolution and also the findings as well. For the record, we did include a couple modifications to the conditions of approval. Those have been included in your red folder, and I believe it affects 3 or 4 conditions of approval. So with that, staff is available to answer any questions. The applicant and the applicant's engineer is available to answer questions as well.
Great, thank you, Orlando. So this is our time to ask any questions of staff. Do we have any questions of staff? Ben?
Yeah, one.
Okay, Chris?
Just wondering, those gas lines, can you show me the map where they're flowing? I know it goes through the park, but does it go under any of the houses? I'm not sure if code allows that at all.
No, it's not allowed, so I can put up the map again if IT can assist with. So it essentially bisects the map, as you can see diagonally. It goes over, essentially over the park, and closer to the street, there's an open space lot as well, that there's no residential lots directly over the easement.
Is that those 3-inch gas lines? The ones like similar that were, there was an issue when we were doing Santa Rosa, their proposed site. Is it the same main gas line as that?
I'm not 100% sure the size of the gas pipe. I believe the applicant may have that information, and they can provide it.
It's fine, that's fine, I'm just wondering. Okay. That's it.
Joe?
Yes, I have a question about the road improvement for the Brick Street road. How far would the applicant have to complete? I understand Brick Street goes all the way south, much further. I'd like to know how much applicant would have to complete.
Briggs improvements, it's the responsibility of the applicant along the frontage of their project. So that will be all the way from the southernmost portion of their map, which currently abuts the existing residential homes, and they would improve it all the way up to Dominic Magoni. And that would include curb gutter and sidewalk on their side, and all the way to the center line plus 12, which is our standard requirement for this type of projects.
Yes. Just a follow-up question. Would the Briggs Road connect to the existing Briggs Road down further south, making it more complete?
That's correct. There will be an existing connection to the south, and that'll be the secondary access to the community as well through the south side on Briggs.
Great. That's what we need for the intersection right now. Yes. Thank you.
And that eventually connects to Old Newport Street as well.
No other questions? Joe, go ahead.
One more question about the main intersection. What kind of intersection improvement would the applicant do for the main entrance?
So are you asking about Dominigoni and Briggs Road, or the intersection of Dominigoni and Lindenberger?
Lindenberger, the access road into the project.
Yeah, so like Orlando mentioned, this project was approved. The street plans and the traffic signal improvements were approved. The plans were approved back in 2015. So it would be doing a traffic signal modification at that intersection, and then constructing the improvements, obviously the ultimate width improvements on the track side. That's what's currently in the conditions of approval.
Thank you.
And to follow up, Daniel, that intersection at Lindenberger and Dominigoni / Newport, that's already had a major overhaul with all of the new development on the north side of Dominigoni, right? So there's already a big signal there already?
Correct.
Yeah, okay.
So it's a T intersection, and with this project, it'll be a standard, four-way ultimate traffic signal.
All access, rights and lefts out of everywhere.
Correct.
Okay. Joe, does that make sense to you?
Yes.
Okay,
Thank you.
cool.
Just
Yeah.
one follow-up. Would the getting into the project from Menifee, would there be a dedicated right turn into the project?
So the way that the plans were approved in 2015 and the way the conditions are written right now, it doesn't specifically require that, but that's something, there's pros and cons to it, but yeah, it would be at the discretion of the planning commission. The plans, like I said, were approved in 2015. The traffic study does show there's 90 peak hour trips. There are a couple downsides that you'd have a bike lane crossing a right turn lane, and then it increases the length, the distance a pedestrian has to travel across Dominigoni. But, I don't know how the other commissioners feel about it. Again, the plans were approved without one, but I would support adding a right turn lane if you guys wanted to require that of the applicant, and we can see, if the applicant has any thoughts on it as well.
On Dominigoni, you're talking about a right turn lane on Dominigoni, right there fronting it?
Yes, eastbound or northbound there, I guess, to turn right into the subdivision. If you're heading to Hemet on Dominigoni, a dedicated right turn lane to turn into the community.
Does Staters have a dedicated right turn lane?
I don't know if Staters does, but the opposite direction, if you're coming from Hemet to make a right turn to go northbound on Lindenberger, that one does have a dedicated right turn lane. So back when the plans were approved, I don't know if a variance was made or, the rationale behind why the plans were approved without a right turn lane. Like I mentioned, there's pros and cons, so I can see, how, one traffic engineer might think it's a good idea, another traffic engineer might not. So I think that's kind of the reason why the plans were approved the way they are.
It doesn't look like Staters has a dedicated right turn. It looks like it's a right turn and a straight through.
Straight through. So
Yeah.
what's the public safety incidents been there in front of Staters? Is there many crashes, or, is there anything of significance that would cause you to want to require a right turn at all?
I haven't reviewed the data at Stater Brothers, at that specific intersection. But, typical factors that are considered in whether you need a right turn lane or not, or whether one is required, is the number of peak hour trips, and then pedestrian usage, the speed on Dominigoni. And, it may be that traffic volumes have gone up significantly in the last, 8 years, where now I would probably lean on requiring a right turn lane as to, and then the previous traffic engineer or city engineer did not require that, 8 or 9 years ago.
I guess the question would be, is there room for it? Are we built out to the ultimate there? And would there be room for adding? Would you have to effectively add it to the
Yeah,
street if you did that?
there's two potential approaches. One is you make that rightmost lane about 20 foot wide, where it's kind of a de facto right turn lane where it can accommodate a car trying to turn right, or we can do a fully, dedicated separate right turn lane. I think, I can have the applicant weigh in on that. I believe that it can be accommodated. There's an open space lot that runs along where the right turn lane would go, so I believe it can be accommodated per city standards.
I guess the other question would be, is there any other projects in the future that would be utilizing that pathway? You got nothing to the north is a hill. There's nothing to the south. So pretty much this is it right there, right?
Yeah, it appears that this development would be the only development that would benefit from that right turn lane, correct? There's no additional property that would have access to that, through that.
I don't really necessarily see the need for it if this is the ultimate build out. I don't know what your thoughts are.
I don't either. I think if it's wide enough to have a car turning right and going straight to the left of it would be
Well, the way that it is right now, it would probably need a couple more feet to have that de facto right turn lane.
Commissioner Thomas, and just to answer your previous question, in front of Stater Brothers, it does not appear that there's a dedicated right turn lane.
The nice thing is they're just turning right and they're not up to high speed yet there, so.
Yeah, definitely the length between that signal and this intersection is much bigger, where most likely travelers would gain speed, and it will be a much faster speed.
For the project, at the relatively low number of units, make it less traffic of a problem. So a dedicated right turn might not be necessary. Yeah, I agree with you all. Yes.
Ben?
I would like to hear from the applicant to see what
Okay.
they have to say as well, but I do like the idea of at least giving the extra couple feet for the de facto right turn lane. That's what we have coming into our neighborhood in Audie Murphy, and I think it works well, so I would be in favor of that if the applicant is okay with that.
Do we have any other questions of staff at this time? Okay, so we're going to move on. We're going to open the public hearing. It is 6:21, and I think we're going to do this a little bit differently than we have done in the past. So first, Madam Clerk, was the hearing legally noticed?
Yes, it was.
Oh, very good. And any correspondence received?
No, they're not.
Okay, thank you. At this time, we'd like to invite the applicant up to the podium, sir. Do we have some questions that the applicant can answer along the lines of what we were just discussing?
I would just ask if you would weigh in on your thoughts on the right turn into.
Sure, and I think in the abundance of caution that rather than have a complete full right-hand lane, I'd rather have my engineer speak to it, but my understanding is that that third lane, which is the right lane, is a wider lane than any other lane, which allows some of that accommodation to turn right. If we move it a couple of feet, whatever that requires to get it up to about 20 feet, that's really like a nice deceleration area to turn in. It's a small development. It's not like what is across the street, where you have 352 units in that one, plus there's just a lot of traffic up and down Lindenberger. So, but I want to thank the commission for this hearing. I want to thank Orlando and Cheryl and Daniel for all the time that they've dedicated to move this thing forward, and appreciate that. And that this 182 lot development is better designed than the old one. The old one had a lot of grading to it, and the old one looked down on the other existing subdivision. This one is pretty even all the way through. So it's a far superior design than the one. I mean, it lost 15 lots, but I think for the community it's a better design. I'll let Amir speak to the traffic.
Hi, my name is Amir Falai. I'm a project engineer for the project. The right turn pocket, or a decel lane, we're in the point that the traffic report doesn't warrant for a right turn pocket. I talked to the traffic engineer before I come here. And traditionally, the Domegoni Parkway, the third lane is based on the old county standard, which is 18 feet. And we keep using the word de facto, which is right. I agree with Daniel. 18 feet was designed to provide for a right turn pocket. If you go through Audie Murphy Ranch in Newport Road, I did all of that, and we don't have a right turn pocket, and it's working. But like Daniel said, this is left for you guys to figure out if you want more or not. It obviously, having a decel lane that is more than 18 feet is better because it gives the drivers better pocket to move to the right. But like Daniel said again, it has positives and negatives. You increase the length of the pedestrian walk by a few feet, which is not a big deal, but it's still a few feet. And that's the only thing. Few positive and few negative. I think additional lane, just dedicated right lane is, again, I agree with Daniel. It's bad for the bike lane because you're crossing the bike lane. But if you have to add 1 or 2 more feet to make it wider than 18 feet, it works better. And I don't think we have any objection to that.
This is one of the, once it's built, it's kind of one of the last developments going east.
Yes.
Right? So people kind of come out from Lindenberger, hit the gas, go up the hill, and then they're off to the races down Dominiconi towards Hemet, right? I'm one of them. So having a little extra room, I think, would probably be a good idea. Did you have any questions?
No, I just say I agree with,
Okay.
no, not the additional lane, but the additional feet to make it 20 feet or so.
All right. I need to ask you, the applicant, do you agree to all of the conditions of approval?
Yes, we do.
Okay, thank you. Let's see, we've done that. Okay, thank
Anything
you.
else for me?
I think we're good for now. At this time, we need to find out if there are any any requests to speak.
We have no requests to speak at this time.
Caston's the only one left. Do you have anything you want to say?
My client and the engineer said it all.
Very good. Just want to give everybody the opportunity. Okay, so let's close the public hearing. It is 6:26. Is there any, amongst ourselves, any additional discussion? Or are we kind of leaning towards approving this, but with the additional couple of feet? Ben?
That's my general take on it, yeah, is to approve with the extra 2 feet or so, or whatever staff thinks is appropriate to give that wider deceleration area.
Joe?
Yes, I had a chance to drive by the project this afternoon, and the project is very compatible for the neighborhood. So it's a great location. The intersection that the applicant is going to build is going to help traffic flow tremendously. So I would like to say thank you to the planning department and the applicant. Another thing that I saw, the project is right in front of a hillside, so it looks beautiful. Right now, it's a vacant lot, looking really ugly. So by filling up with at least something, that's a big improvement, and the hill is gonna make it beautiful. And being next to a bike trail is a tremendous positive feature for that particular community. So that's another plus. And one more plus, the park located right at the entrance of the project, it's a beautiful park. I love it. So it's for the community coming out, interacting, so it's a very positive feature. I thank you very much for your inclusion. Yeah. Thank you.
Thanks, Joe. Chris, anything? Okay. Okay, so Ty, if we're going to read this out, but we want to add the extra couple of feet, how would you like us to? I'm sorry.
And the revisions in the blue folder.
Oh, right. Yes. So how do we address that?
So first you would say you'd make a motion for the determinate. Well, you make a motion to determine that the IS negative declaration adopted etc., you state that, and you would adopt the resolution approving tentative track map number 37671 PLN 19-007, subject to the attached conditions of approval and based upon the findings and conclusions incorporated in the staff report, including adding subdivision E to condition of approval 164, and you would state exactly how many feet you're looking for, and the errata sheet that was provided to you by staff today.
Okay. So do I need to repeat all that, or can we just make a motion to do that and second that?
We need the specific feet, though. Do we need input?
So it's 18, so we want to add 2? Is that what we're talking about?
So we can go ahead and we'll have what I just said, but instead of a specified amount of footage, we can say subject to the determination of the city engineer. Would that be appropriate
Sure.
to you?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
Thank you. So I'd like to make a motion to all the things you just said.
Yes.
I'll second it.
Okay. And we're going to try an electronic vote? It's not up on mine. You know? Oh, there's yours. IT looks like they're working on mine. Got it. Okay. Thank you. Joe, did it pop up on your screen to electronically vote? It did. Okay. Oh, there it is. Okay, so that passes 4 with 1 abstaining.
One recused.
1 recused.
Correct.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for the correction. Okay. Okay. Do we need to take a quick pause, Daniel?
Yeah, I think we're gonna go find him real quick, so we'll just give him a minute to come back.
Daniel, were you gonna?
No, my son's baseball game got canceled because
Oh.
of the weather.
So you're stuck with us.
Oh, they canceled it because of the weather?
Oh, yeah.
Cheryl, we have Randy. We're good to go? To continue? Okay.
Well, the baseball team could have come and listened to our general plan progress report.
That would have been nice, you know?
They would have been fascinated.
Randy, welcome back. On to item number 10, discussion items, the general plan annual progress report for 2022. Would the planning manager please introduce this item?
Thank you, Chair. I would like to introduce Kimberly Luna. She'll be making the presentation. Just to give you, Kimberly is a great help for Doug in the advanced planning section. So who you see right now is our advanced planning team, our awesome advanced planning team. So I know Kimberly does great support to Doug, and we wanted to give her an opportunity to present to you guys. So most of the work that was put into the report was done by her, so she's looking forward to giving you guys a presentation. So, Kim?
Thank you, Orlando. Good evening, Mr. Chairman and members of the Commission. I'm Kimberly Luna, Assistant Planner, and I'm pleased to present the item before you tonight on the General Plan Annual Progress Report for the 2022 calendar year, and wait for IT to put up the presentation. Thank you. A brief overview of Menifee's general plan. It was adopted in December of 2013. It has 8 elements, and the general plan carries the goals and policies for the city's vision out to 2035. And our most recent comprehensive update to the general plan was on the housing, land use, and safety elements. These were adopted in December of 2021. The state requires that all the jurisdictions prepare an annual progress report and submit to both the Office of Planning and Research, OPR, and the Department of Housing and Community Development, HCD, by April 1st of each year. The report covers the progress of the general plan throughout the 2022 calendar year, and overall it serves two purposes: for OPR to track the status of the general plan as a whole, and secondly, for HCD to track the progress of the housing element. The general plan includes an implementation program, which includes an extensive list of actions to implement the goals and policies of the general plan. Some notable actions included in our report was the adoption of the housing element. We included that we began updates to the local hazard mitigation plan, also the Parks and Recreation Master Plan. These are near completion. And we updated on our we provided updates on our CIP with some brief updates that we completed our pump track at the Evans Park. We expanded the Lazy Creek Park Recreation Center. We broke ground at the Holland Road I-215 overpass. We also broke ground at the fire station number 5. Part of our APR report requires us to discuss compliance. This includes collaborative planning with military lands and facilities. For Menifee, this involves ensuring development projects meet compatibility requirements with the March Air Reserve Base. We also collaborate with our Native American tribes under AB 52. We often consult with our Pechanga and Saboba tribes. Lastly, we are complying with SB 1000. We have incorporated environmental justice policies in our land use element of the general plan. The city is required to report its annual housing production through an annual progress form provided by HCD. This form requires that the city report on the number of units proposed, entitled, permitted, and built. And we also provide the affordability level of each of those units. In addition, we show our progress in meeting our regional housing needs allocation through RENA in the 6th cycle. And we provide updates on all of our housing element programs through this form. This table shows our RENA allocation. RENA is the number of housing units the city is required to accommodate throughout the city. As you'll see, Menifee's RENA allocation for the 6th cycle is 6,609 units, and these are broken down by income categories: very low, low income, moderate, and above moderate. The income ranges are established each year by the Department of Housing and Urban Development, HUD, and they're established for each county. This table shows the city's RENA process through the 8-year planning period. This was our first full year in the cycle, and the total number of units permitted for 2022 was 905, and these are broken down into their income categories. Lastly, we reported on our housing programs. Just to name a few that we reported on, we completed our housing element rezone program. This was completed in January of last year. Through Habitat and Humanity, we were able to fund 46 recipients for home improvements. Through our senior home repair, we assisted 11 households. And we also were able to adopt our multifamily objective design standards in April of last year. And we released our permit-ready ADU plans to the public in August of 2022 of last year. In conclusion, staff recommends review the general plan and housing element annual progress report for 2022 as required by state law to show progress on the general plan and receive and file this report. Staff is prepared to answer questions. Thank you.
That was fantastic. Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm told that we need to ask if there's any requests to speak on this item.
I have no requests, and I see no, I see no one in the audience
All
with
right.
any requests.
All right. So this is a receive and file item, correct? So is there any other action that we need to take? Okay.
Unless you have any questions on any of the items,
I
but
should probably ask that. Do we have any questions on the report?
or
Joe?
comments.
Joe?
Yes, I have a question about the fire station number 5. Can you tell me when it's going to be completed? And when it's going to be operational?
Unfortunately, I don't have the exact dates. I can bring that answer to you at the next planning commission meeting, or provide you that information tomorrow.
Thank you, thank you. The reason why I ask is because the existing fire station is located in a very remote area, very difficult for fire engines to get out. So, thank you.
I just have one question. When's the next general plan update planned? Because I know we had discussed, I don't know if there's future projects that are going to propose any land use changes or anything? Or if not, when is the next GP update?
So we don't have a comprehensive general plan update scheduled in the work plan for the next fiscal year. With it being adopted in 2023, generally, 2013, and we're in 2023, we'll start assessing that in the next couple of years to talk about a comprehensive update. There may be one or two private development projects that may necessitate a land use element update in the next coming years. Should the council give direction to move forward with any kind of a sphere of influence amendment, that would require a comprehensive general plan update. We right now are doing, minor cleanup items. We'll have a circulation element cleanup coming before you shortly. We'll have a safety element cleanup to be consistent with our pending local hazard mitigation plan that the council will be reviewing in the next month. So nothing comprehensive at this time, but likely 2-ish years we'll look at that. It's a very large undertaking.
And we don't have a lot of things going on in the city that would take a lot of time away from doing something like that, right? Any other
Nights and weekends are always available.
Any other questions about? Okay. Great job. Thank you.
Great job.
Okay, item number 11, Community Development Director comments.
I do have some things to share with the commission tonight. First of all, I want to thank Kimberly for a great presentation. I think that was your first presentation before the Planning Commission. So kudos to you for a job well done. And I know doing those annual progress reports is very time consuming. For every single building permit reported here, that 900 plus, there is a corresponding data table spreadsheet that needs to be filled out with all of the information regarding that building permit for that house. So very time consuming to report to the state our progress, and being so busy with building permit activity, that report becomes very cumbersome. So thank you, Kimberly and Doug, for that. Couple of updates on new businesses and business expansions to share with the commission. Tacos and Tequila is under construction for tenant improvements to expand their restaurant over in the Sprout Shopping Center. In that same center, we also have tenant improvements going on for a Kumon Learning Center, as well as a ramen restaurant. The much-awaited Chick-fil-A on the property across the street from City Hall should be under construction in the next month or so.
Can I ask you a question about that? A couple of people asked me about that. So Chick-fil-A bought the parcel that they're going to sit on, but didn't they buy the Smart and Final building lot too?
Yes, they bought the entire property. They are going to, there is a lot split, and a user will come in for that, what was the former Smart and Final building, a medical user.
Oh, okay.
So if I may add, the lot split that Cheryl mentioned, it has already been recorded, so there are, the parcels have been separated. There's 2 parcels, and one of them, I believe, has already been sold.
And is that like a medical office or like a medical manufacturing?
Office.
Office.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. And then the last thing I wanted to share, we are seeing lots of interest from hotel uses in the city, and we have a new application that we're processing for a Holiday Inn and Suites, a full-service hotel down off of Scott Road, adjacent to the 215 freeway. So,
where?
Just east of Taco Bell. So on the
Shops
south
at
side,
Scott?
Shops at Scott. Just outside. the shops at Scott. So,
Outside there, okay.
yeah, east of Taco Bell. So between Taco Bell and the freeway.
Oh, that'd be nice. Perk that up a little bit there. What about the hotel that was scheduled to go in behind the LA Fitness? Yeah.
Sure. That is in construction drawing phase right now. So hopefully sometime this calendar year, we will see that start construction. That's all for my updates, but if you have any other questions, I'm happy to answer.
I'm not going to make you talk about the theater tonight. Okay, thank you. Moving on, item 12, Commissioner reports on committee activities. Have we had any activities or committee meetings? Not yet. Okay. Fantastic. Thank you. Any future agenda item requests?
Not that we haven't already made, right?
Okay. Randy? Nope. Okay. That's it. It is 6:45. This meeting is adjourned.
Thank you.
Sorry.
Was that your second or first one? First council meeting? Third? This your third? Planning Commission.